Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Semi-Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day today. I am bringing you another Communities Battle matchup. This one was sent to me by Mr. Not So Cool, another Mr. in the house, so I love to see it, We got Mr. Not So Cool versus Dropships. Now, we are playing on the map Stolen Seconds. Stolen Seconds, very popular map in Advanced Wars by Web. You see it quite often in Fog. You even see it sometimes in tournament play, which is super fun. Now, this is a 3-base, 1 airport map on either side with a comm tower and lots of contestable cities all around the map, especially in the center. Center. Right? Crazy stuff. Alright, so we have a Jake Mirror today. I am going to go ahead and put the player profiles up here so you can take a look. I'm pretty sure these players are rated roughly around the same, so that is very cool stuff. Now, I don't think I've actually played Mr. Not So Cool. Don't think I've played him yet. I think I played Dropships before. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Dropships, but I think I played you. And I can't remember how it went, but I'm going to assume that you beat me because I'm going to assume that everybody has beat me. Alright, so, good stuff. Alright, so both players have decided to pick Jake for this, so we have a Jake Mirror. Jake Mirror, folks. So fantastic stuff. As we know, Jake's day-to-day abilities will give him plus 10% firepower on planes. That counts for every single unit across the board. So if you were attacking from a planes tile, you were getting that attack bonus. Now, the other abilities that Jake has. These are some cool stuff. So we have a normal co-power called Beatdown. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, Beatdown. Alright, Jake has the most absurd names for co-powers and super co-powers. So, bear with me. I don't know what you guys are thinking there at Advance Wars, you know, HQ, but yeah, Beatdown. Alright, good enough. Anyways, Beatdown will allow his indirect units to get a +1 range on their ground indirect units. Ground indirect units get +1 range and a firepower bonus on planes. So, you know, artillery will be able to fire 1 space farther. Rockets will also be able to fire 1 space farther. And they'll get a bonus to firepower on planes. So, you know, it can be incredibly effective depending on how you set your units up, right? So, but his Beatdown, his Block Rock, super co-power, that's the one, will give you the effects of Beatdown. You know, you'll get that +1 range to all your indirect units, but you'll also get +2 movement to all your ground units as well. Ground vehicle units, I should say. So you can get some pretty powerful turns out of the old Block Rock. And it also increases firepower in planes even more. As we see, I got Jake's info up there, so you can take a look at that, you know, no problem whatsoever. Alrighty, so I haven't actually taken a look at this match, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. But, let's go ahead and get right into it here. Alright, so the first couple turns, what do we have? Standard infantry builds, I know. Who would have thought that we would have infantry builds right away? Never ceases to amaze me, folks. Never ceases to amaze me at all. Alrighty. So, we're going to skip ahead to day 5. Now, we have a few things going on. Folks. Now, it looks like Dropships has gone ahead, captured his base. Very important stuff. Very important to capture that base. Mr. Not So Cool captured the base as well, capturing a bunch of cities around the area. Now we have a little bit of a difference with our infantry movements here. Mr. Not So Cool looks like he's going to be going for this city right here. And Dropships looks like he could either go for this city or this city here. So we're going to see what he ends up going for. Now, in my opinion, I think it would be better to capture this city first because it is way more contestable than the other city, right? The other city you can kind of capture it at your leisure. Casual stuff, folks. So yeah, this city I think is a little bit more important to get. Plus, it allows you to move into the forest the next turn and then move up and capture that little city that's on its own, surrounded by the water, you know? So that couldn't be too bad. And we have a recon down here built out of the base. So it looks like this recon is going to be going to the west to harass this area. Little does Mr. Not So Cool know that Dropships has decided to build a recon of his own out of his southernmost base, which is now infiltrating the southern section of the map. Don't tell anybody though. It's happening. So we're going to see what happens with that. So skipping ahead a turn, the recon has moved further. Who would have thought, right? I know, crazy stuff. So it's moved right beside the city. So it doesn't have a lot of defense, but it's early enough in the match that you wouldn't really expect a tank to be popping out, and a tank is really the only thing you have to worry about when it comes to sending your recons up. And it looks like Dropships has also built another recon. Second recon up in the north, so he's going to have vision everywhere. He's going to be able to see everything. Crazy stuff. Alright, so Mr. Not So Cool, we're going to continue capping our properties most likely, and then, boom, moves the recon forward just a little bit. Actually spots the recon in the south. Terrifying stuff. So now, Mr. Not So Cool, he built a tank in response to that, because he knows that the recon can't see his base yet, so no idea that a tank got built. But you gotta build that tank because that's the only thing that can contest against the recon right now. So we're gonna play it out from here, and we're gonna see what happens now. And it does look like Dropships went for the southernmost property right there and is gonna capture it, whereas Mr. Not So Cool went for this one right here. So we're gonna see if that plays a role in what happens from now on. Now, I don't think that it's super important, really, depending on which one of these you capture first. But I just feel since this one is more contestable, probably better to cap that one first. Mostly because I've actually been denied that property before on this map a couple times because, like, you know, I was a little bit slow. A little bit slow getting over there. And, yeah, it happens. It happens, folks. It happens. Alrighty. So Dropships builds the tank up in the north. Couple more infantry. Sends his recon to the center. All the way to the center. Vision everywhere in the center. Now he knows Mr. Not So Cool is there. Now on day 6, most likely you're not going to be able to have anything in the center yet. But the recon is there. It is doing reconnaissance. It's sitting on a city. It's not going to be attacked. It's doing its job right now. However, it is still in vision of this recon right here. So, Mr. Not So Cool, he knows where it is. So is Mr. Not So Cool going to keep his cool? Or is he going to just yeet his way to victory up there? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out. Alright. So, Mr. Not So Cool, not even worrying about the recon. He's like, okay, there's a recon there, you know, whatever. Let's just keep it there. It's not hurting anybody yet. You know, if the recon does decide to go and attack these infantry, we got tanks in position to defend. He thinks he's going to be fine, you know? Alrighty. Dropships, let's see what happens here, buddy. Let's see what happens. Capping cities, that is a big capture chain right there. It's like 4 cities. Capturing the comm tower now. We are going to see some combat pretty soon, so capturing the comm tower now is a good idea. Get that plus 10% firepower bonus. Recon moving in to take a shot at an infantry. Ooh. Risky business. Risky business indeed. We don't know if he's got a tank there. However, it is going to stop a little bit of the advance, so that is not a terrible move. So, yeah, we took the shot, so we're going to see what happens now. Tank moving up to take a shot at the recon, doing 70% damage. That is a big attack. Now, the issue with this So recon is actually in position to be attacked by 2, possibly even 3 infantry. So I do believe that a KO is possible here. Let's see if he goes for it. Goes for it. Alright, we got the KO on the recon. The recon is gone. Unfortunately for Mr. Dropships. Very sad day for recon kind everywhere. Rest in peace, recon. Rest in peace. Alright, but is that the end of the game? No, absolutely not. Losing 1 recon, while it is not great, it is not the end of the game. Now, Mr. Not So Cool moves his infantry all the way on this road. Parks it beside the forest. Spots a recon. So, probably a better move would just be to move it in the forest so that it's hidden so that you can get this property next turn. Moving up here is a little bit of an unnecessary risk in my opinion. But you know, it is difficult to make those decisions on the fly when you're playing. But we're going to see what happens with that. We got triple infantry and a battlecopter on the field now. The battlecopters have made it to the show. We got air units up in the sky. It's coming. It's coming. That was supposed to be a helicopter sound. You know, don't make fun of me, please. Alright, let's keep going. Alrighty. So, drop ships. Ooh, good play here. So, move straight from there, right on the city. Capturing it. No problem whatsoever. Now, it's not going to be contested at all. Moves his tank down. Here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as it can go. Not necessarily a bad move whatsoever. Maybe putting it on the plane might have been a little bit better, but, you know, you can't really... Shouldn't really dwell on little things like that too much, right? So, we are going to go capture some more cities. We're moving the recon in to take a shot at the infantry that exposed itself up in the north, moving another tank onto a city. Get that defense bonus, building another recon. And a tank and an infantry. Alrighty. And we captured the con tower. So we're sitting at 14 properties. And now Mr. Not So Cool. I think he's going to be able to pull ahead in the properties this turn. Up to 15 now, which is pretty good. Alright, moving up to try to capture the city with a 9 HP infantry. Not a bad idea for sure. Not a bad idea. Worst case scenario is at least you are defending the property from being capped. So, alrighty. Dropships pulling ahead in the capture game once again here, up to 17 properties. And we are moving recons up, and we are kind of infiltrating the center a little bit. Now, this is a really good position for your recon to be in. Both players have actually put a recon down in this area. This gives you huge amounts of intel of what your opponent is doing. So, cannot disagree with that at all. Now, if it does get spotted, you're in a very compromised situation. However, is it the worst thing? No, I don't think so. Alrighty. So just a thing of note too, I think that Jake is a very good pick for this map. Now, I'll tell you why real quick, in my opinion. Okay, so I think Jake is a really good pick because there's an abundance of plains on this map. And the most contested area on this map is the center, and there is a ton of plains on the center. And plus, with the shoals and just the general terrain around there, it makes indirects very effective. So if you pop a couple artillery over there, you know, in the center, you can get a lot of damage done with that. A lot of damage. Lots of defense, too. Artillery, perfect for defense. You don't want to push into an artillery line. That is for sure. So, yeah, in general, I think Jake is a really good pick. So, let's carry on, my wayward son. Ooh. So we spot the recon, and we managed to attack it with our battlecopter. So we do expose that we have air units now. So the enemy in Mr. Not So Cool's case, dropships, he did preemptively build a anti-air unit because he's expecting air, right? So we now know that that build is effective. And Mr. Not So Cool, wow, what a move. So rushes all the way ahead and one-shots a recon sitting on a road. So that's a devastating loss right there. And we move our recon up on the comm tower and get intel of everything that's going on over here. And we see that our opponent just built an infantry. Ooh. That is a lot of intel right now. A lot of intel. So we capitalize on that information. Build a couple more groundings to the south because we know he's going to be weak down here. And we start sending a bunch of stuff down south. Alright, dropships. Let's see what you got. So finish a cap, interrupting a cap, and gonna try to secure it for yourself. Cool. Gonna try to secure it for ourselves here. Moving the recon back to sit in a forest where it cannot be spotted, easily at least. How do we have vision here? Oh, okay, the infantry is on the mountain so we can see. So that's why he doesn't move in to attack with the tank right now too, because he knows if he attacks with the tank, he's going to get two-struck. And he's got no reinforcements right now. So yeah, pulling this guy back and sitting on a city, not a bad idea for sure. Building a second tank to double up there. Building a mech too, interestingly enough. So mechs, everybody either loves them or they hate them, you know? There's no in between. I think mechs are pretty good in certain situations. So if you get a bunch of mechs on the front line and your opponent has like a bunch of tanks and stuff, you know, you can't necessarily push in with your tanks because then your opponent's just going to get a bunch of cost-effective trades with mechs. So that can be pretty good for your opponent, not good for you. But it really just depends on how fast you can get those mechs to the front line. That's what it really comes down to. If you get a transport copter and you can get them up there really quick, that's fantastic. If you have to wait 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days, well, then it can be a little bit worse for you. Alrighty, so dropships has, or not dropships, Mr. Not So Cool has pushed up pretty far. Now, I'm not sure why dropships would have brought his anti-air down here when he knows that there was a battlecopter right here. If anything, you should have brought your the anti-air to maybe sit on this city here, and then if the battlecopter decided to stay there, you could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spotted, or six movement your way into the forest and take a shot at that battlecopter, just eliminating it from the game. But instead, we're going to put it in the center, so not quite sure what was going on with that. Maybe dropships had a different plan for the anti-air, or maybe he thought that Mr. Not So Cool might have built more battlecopters that are now coming for the center. Because a lot of the time, people spam battlecopters, you know? So, not a bad idea, but if you have an immediate threat over here, then I think your anti-air should go take care of the immediate threat first, if anything. So, dropships, let's see what's gonna happen here. So we're gonna bring our tanks in. Okay, so we take a shot at this tank down here from a city. Not so bad. We're gonna back it up with the artillery unit too, so good. Nice arty placement for sure. Nice, taking lots of good shots at the infantry in the center too. We're gonna try to win that capture game for sure. Now, little does he know that Mr. Not So Cool's got a bunch of infantry down to the south too that are just primed and waiting to get in there. Now, he should have moved this anti-air unit though. Like, that needed to be moved stat because it is in vision range of this recon here. So we need to keep that hidden. You need to keep your opponent guessing where your anti-airs are. You can't just have them sitting there all willy-nilly, right? So, not necessarily a great move. However, he could be trying to use it as bait too. So, we'll see what happens. Alright, smart play with the battlecopter, moving it down south now. So, we're going to avoid any threats that are going on there. We don't really need to kill those infantry just yet. So, smart play bringing the battlecopter down south. Alright, so we are going to pull out of the center and we are going to refortify our line down south. Alright, so we got a whole slew of units down south now. So that's pretty cool. You know, we're playing very defensively. Alright, so dropships going on the offense right now. Bringing this anti-air way into the front line. So, ooh, that's risky. So if we're going to bring our... If we're going to bring that anti-air all the way to the front lines, we need to build a second one, like, stat. Right away. Right away. Because if that guy dies, then his battlecopter that we know he has will have free reign over everything that's going on. Free reign. I think this is sort of not a fantastic setup either, unfortunately. So we know that dropships was in the center, and he pulled his units back. So we can know for sure that if he wanted to, he could rush right back up into the center, right? And we're placing a lot of our units on roads, which gives us no defense. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I can't really see many good things happening from this. Now, Mr. Cool, I'm going to call you Cool. Mr. Cool, he's got lots and lots of stuff here that can go up and take attacks. Now, however, if we go up and take those attacks and we don't do enough damage, we're going to get heavily counterattacked by the abundance of tanks around. So, it's kind of iffy what's going to happen, you know? Could it be a bait? Could it not be a bait? We're going to see. Alright, so Mr. Cool brings his recon up and gets vision over everything that's going on in the middle. So now we know that he's at least got 4 tanks and, you know, these guys. Well, 5 tanks and these guys. So, risky business. And we're going to go up and attack anyways. We're like, you know what, whatever. Whatever, we're going to do it. We took out the anti-air. Alright. Yeah, we're just going to go up and take the attacks. We're not moving the anti-air though. So we're keeping the anti-air hidden. So, smart move right there. Now, this attack did leave Mr. Not So Cool fairly exposed, and he's about to get hit by the ability, right? So we're gonna see what happens here. So we got the block rock. Alright. So before I actually go any further, so there is one thing to note from super co-powers and co-powers that give you a movement bonus that people should be aware of. Now, whenever you get movement, you have to understand something, that if you choose to use your full movement with those units, your resupply or reinforcement lines are going to be a little bit wonky for the next couple turns, because your units are not going to be able to overlap each other as easily as they would before, because you get that +2 movement. Well, so let's say a tank moves 8 spaces one turn, the next turn it can only move 6 spaces. So your units are going to be a little bit behind in the reinforcements, if that makes sense. So you need to be very, very aware of that whenever you use movement power. Alrighty, so let's continue on. Moving a tank back to get some heals. Okay, so taking the shot right here, not bad because we do a lot of damage, but if we actually moved this infantry just forward like 1 space, we would have been able to see what was right here, right? And if he had nothing right there, we could have actually taken the shot from the planes and got like a, oh, what is it? I think it's like 40% firepower bonus from planes during block rock, so we could have actually did quite a bit more damage to that guy. But we did get a heavy hit right there, 90% damage, so that's pretty good. Finishing it off with an infantry. Now, okay, so we're going deep into enemy lines right now too, taking even more shots. Oof. Building a battlecopter. Yeah, we got battlecopters in the house, folks. Woo! All right. So this is definitely the tank show right now, folks. Definitely the tank show. We got lots and lots and lots of tanks. They're everywhere. Oh my god. It's like the plague of locusts, but instead of locusts, it's like tanks just everywhere. Spooky stuff. So interesting thing is, like, Mr. Not So Cool, he's actually not using his super power right now either. I think he feels like he might not be able to get enough value out of it right now, so he's not actually popping it. So let's see what his plan is then. Building the medium tank. That's right. Perfect. Alright, so we're pulling back. Building the medium tank. Finishing off the anti-air with the 5 HP battlecopter. That is rough. Rough stuff. Fantastic move, but you hate to see it. Hate to see it. Alright, and you know, if you see that your opponent has like this many tanks, definitely buying the medium tank and teching up at that point is very important to do. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how bloodthirsty Dropships is right now. Is he gonna like press on and continue the attack, or is he gonna pull back? I'm sensing he's gonna pull back. Yeah, okay. So he pulls back a little bit, and then Mr. Not So Cool decides to double hit one of the infantry, interrupting a cap, finishing off another infantry. And is he gonna push up with this turn? I don't think so. I still don't think he thinks it's time. I think he wants to push up with that medium tank is what I'm thinking. Parks the artillery in a good spot here too, because it's going to get the planes bonus when he finally gets the super power too. Cool. Alright, so we're not pushing up, we're holding back, we are fortifying our defenses, as they say. Dropships, he's holding heavy in the center. He doesn't want to lose the center. He's already got one of the properties. He knows that this property is denied. If he captures this one, that will give him an advantage on the funds. So we're going to see if that happens. Now all he has to do is not get interrupted at this point, because he's only got 4 little tiny ticks to go. So if he can get it, then he'll get it. But it gets interrupted by the recon moving up first to get the vision, then activates the block rock. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Alright. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have at least 6 tanks. Maybe 7 with this one. No, 6 tanks. So 6 tanks and a medium tank. And I think this anti-air can actually reach this guy too. Alright, let's see what happens. Ah! Yeah, there it is. Anti-air moves all the way up. So if you're wondering how that anti-air managed to spot the copter even though it was in a forest, it's because air units do not hide in the forest. They hover above it. So if you put an air unit in the forest, it can still be seen. So be aware of that, folks. Be aware. Medium tank rushes up, takes shots. And we got tanks moving in. We got infantry moving in. More infantry moving in. Ah! Even the 4 HP battlecopter is still in there. Still doing damage. Alright, so that was a very effective block rock in my opinion. We did manage to do a lot of damage with that. And it looks like the unit count between the two is very, very different at this point. Very, very different. And the value is a lot different too. Like we're like almost 50k difference right now. So that is really tough. Alright, so we got a beatdown. Now, why do we activate the beatdown? I think the reason for why we activate the beatdown, I don't know. Probably just to be able to counter this, right? So I'm thinking that we want to get some value out of this artillery unit right here. Now, sadly, the artillery can't actually hit this medium tank, and that would have been really nice if it could. Oh, that is unfortunate. Really? Really? Come on, Advance Wars. What is this? Why you gotta do my man dropships like that? Just like a little bit of luck. Little bit of luck. That would have been flipping great. That's sad. I'm sorry, dropships. That's terrible. That's terrible. That would have been really good too, because then the mech could have moved in and take the shot at this guy. Yeah. Flipping Advance Wars. What is this? Anyways. Oh, wait, we can hit that guy. What? Oh, never mind. It's still showing me the normal firepower. Or fire range. Yeah, it is able to hit the medium tank. So we did use it so we can just chip away at that medium tank a little bit. So that's good. Alright, so we attack the battlecopter. Now, I think if we're really trying to take this guy out, if we move maybe this 2 HP one, then take this shot here, then we can move like the 1 HP one over here and take that and still be able to take the shot here. Possibly, but it's looking a little risky, so we're going to see what happens. Okay. Yeah, I think we probably should have just did it with the 2 HP one or the 1 HP one. It's not necessarily a bad idea doing it with the infantry though, so, you know, whatever. We did get a huge shot at that. Recon, disabling the vision, and then we got a shot at the artillery unit, which is fantastic. That's a good shot. Good stuff. And you know, we needed good stuff after we got literally screwed by the Advanced Wars RNG right there. Alright, so we build a medium tank. Nice. Getting the medium tanks out there, folks. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. Get them out there. Alright, so Mr. Not So Cool. Are we gonna continue the attack? Yes, we are. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna start capping the city that we've been fighting for forever. We're gonna move our medium tank back. And maybe we are actually just going to pull back. Yeah, no, it looks like we're just going to pull back. So this is cool. So we're not going to like bother trying to cap cities that we know we're not going to get, right? So we're just going to pull back and hide the majority of our forces. Nice plan. Nice plan. Now, I think Mr. Not So Cool, he probably has an idea right now that he's sort of like ahead in units, right? If you look at the KD, it's probably looking in his favor, more than likely, right? So, he's trying to like keep his units alive, because they're going to play a role, right? If you have more units than your opponent, well then you're just in a really, really good position. I mean, you let your opponent come to you, not you go to your opponent. But in this case, we are moving in to take massive, massive shots. Ooh. Ow! Ouch! Painful. Alright, so yeah, we got a couple good shots there. We took a big shot at one of the artillery units. We do have another artillery unit right here, which is ready and available to cause havoc. And havoc it does cause. Ooh. And the medium tank moves in and takes a shot at an infantry. That's a tough call. I probably would have wanted to keep the medium tank like hidden. At least until I knew I could get a shot at his medium tank or something. But I mean, as long as we wall it off, which it looks like we're going to right here. It looks like it'll be fine. Probably be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's good. Everything's good. Building another medium tank though, and we so we base skip for another medium tank when we're behind units. You know what? I'd like to hear what your guys' opinion is on this one. So if you're behind in units and you know that your opponent has lots and lots of small units and he's just sort of overwhelming you, do you think it's a good idea to base skip to get more heavy units out there so that you can contend easier with the smaller units? Or do you think you should just build more heavy units and just send them out there? Or build more medium units and just send them out there and fight head to head with them? Now, debatable for which one you should do. I don't necessarily think that putting another medium tank in the fray is necessarily a bad idea. Because we know we can't really build battlecopters because he's got too many anti-air units. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know, you know, I don't know. I don't necessarily disagree with the medium tank play. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Alrighty, so Mr. Not So Cool, dropships has kind of closed the gap on you a little bit here. So it looks like every single time when dropships sort of closes the gap, Mr. Not So Cool pulls back. So playing very conservatively, very cautious, as some people might say. Alrighty. So I guess he didn't really close the gap as much as I thought, right? But did close it a little bit. Oh no, why are we rushing up there? Ah! Okay, I gotta rewatch that one. Oh no. Oh, that's way too risky, way too risky. Why are we doing it? I hate to see it. No, that's way too risky. Way too risky. No. Sorry, dropships, but I think with this one here, we're just throwing away anything that we push up here. Oh, and especially putting your medium tank here, that is a devastatingly bad place to put it. Mostly, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so this is the issue with putting your medium tank in a spot like this. We're blocked off by a mountain, we're blocked off by a river. So all the enemy would have to do is put an infantry here and an infantry here, and then this guy is a sitting duck. He is going to be battlecopter fodder or artillery fodder in just like a couple of days. Because if you have to sacrifice a few infantry to like take out a medium tank, you know, it's not a bad idea. Risky business though. But we're definitely dabbling in the attacks here. I think it's D just it says that, right? Dabbling in the attacks, and he should be stabbling, something like that. Yeah, like that guy, he's funny. Alright, so, yeah, we lost one of the units that we pushed up with. And we're going to lose the second one, unfortunately. And then we get the Block Rock Super mid-turn. Oh boy. Oh yeah. And Mr. Not So Cool gets the RNG with a 4 HP one, but dropships can't get the RNG with a full HP one. Just advance worse things, folks. Just advance worse things. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, I kind of figured that was going to get blocked in there. And you know how I knew that was going to happen? It's because it happens to me all the time. All the time. My medium tanks are always getting stuck places. Stuck in the mud. And they can't get out. Right? So I'm starting to not make that mistake anymore because I've lost too many medium tanks and they're just too expensive, you know? You don't want to lose them. Alright, so this was a super good push. That mid-turn Block Rock activation was definitely nice. Definitely nice. However, Are these tanks going to be able to compete with the amount of medium tanks that are coming into the fray right now? With their own block rock ability? I don't know. But we do get a big hit right there. Oh, and we move in and take the shot at the medium tank. Nice. Nice hit. Nice hit. Now, I wonder if this could have been done differently, though. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could only attack that one. Yeah, I don't think it could have been done any differently. So that's a nice hit on the medium tank. Beautiful hit. Now, sadly, I'm pretty sure that medium tank is gonna get blown smithereens next turn. But you know, you gotta commemorate the hit, man. It was a good hit. Good hit. Solid hit. It was a nice left hook. Nice left hook. Yeah, so sadly the medium tank did get shot down. That is unfortunate. Now, I'm surprised that Mr. Not So Cool hasn't built a battlecopter to contend with this guy yet. I think he's just gonna hold it in place for a little while. He's pulling back into the center and the south. This is like his safety location. That's his safety square right there. Safety square. Gotta stay safe. And the medium tank is desperately trying to break out of Hellland over there. Desperately trying. We're gonna see if it's gonna be possible in the next couple turns here. I mean, dropships only has so many infantry to hold it back with, so we're gonna see. All right, Mr. Not So Cool, refueling units. We're still ahead by like 40k value and like 5 units, so let's see. All right, so we got a medium tank rolling up to contest with this medium tank, so it looks like we are gonna be able to do something about that. Now we are sitting on a 3 defense square right now. Not a very favorable engagement, but we'll see what happens with it. Bombers. Yep. That's what we do. That's what we do, is we build bombers. Whenever your opponent is having an overabundance of heavy vehicle units, best thing to do is build a bomber. You know, you could build more medium tanks, you could build a Neo tank, but the problem with the Neo tank is you're going to take counter damage, and it's going to be susceptible to artillery units, right? But a bomber, nah, I've got no problems with a bomber, and that was a base skip to get the bomber out too. Now, however, I feel like that was a justified base skip as well. And you know, before when we saw the base skip with the other medium tank from dropships, I don't think that was a bad base skip either, you know? I think we got to get those guys out there. Now, this is sending a unit over to Hell Zone 2. Not necessarily a good idea there. We really need to keep our units together at this point, because our front by our HQ is not looking very secure right now. Alright, we're going to see what happens here. So yeah, so we finish off the medium tank. And we finish off the tank that came to support the medium tank. You know, it had the best intentions. It went up and it was like, don't worry, my friend. I will get you out of here. And the medium tank was like, no! Just go, man. Just go. Just leave me. I'm doomed. And he was like, no! We're gonna leave here together, man! But didn't work out, unfortunately. So, sad days indeed. Sad days indeed. But you know, sometimes you gotta go together instead of going alone, I guess. Interesting that the bomber doesn't move any farther. Because like I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we would have only been able to move on the HQ, so we want to keep the bomber a surprise, I think. That's why he's keeping it back a little bit. It's a little sneaky surprise. Okay, so we are heavy moving into the center now, because we know all his units are down here. So I think he's trying to take out what's here so that, you know, when that guy comes up here and defends, he'll be able to, like, counter that, hopefully. But, yeah, it looks like he's just a little bit too strong everywhere, and he just doesn't know that there's a bomber coming. That's the biggest problem. He just doesn't know that there's a bomber on the field. It's like when the bomber arrives, it's just gonna not be good. Not be good, unfortunately. Oh, there it is. Yep. Big hit on the medium tank. You hate to see it. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that was big hits everywhere. Ooh. Yeah, ow. That looks to me like a GG turn, in my opinion, I think. We are heavily, heavily down now, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So it looks like that's the end for our good friend Dropships. He did put up a very good fight. Now, I think mainly the real issue was just taking a lot of those really, really aggressive engagements, like mid-game, and without actually finishing anything off, right? I mean, just throwing your units into the fray without really having a plan for them is only going to get your units killed and get you slowly behind on the unit count overall. Yeah, but as for like the capture game and everything, I mean, we stayed 2021, or we stayed like 2020 for a huge amount of that game. So, I mean, we managed to defend our properties perfectly well. We did pull back quite a bit, which was very good. Just some of the placements and setting up like in the middle on the roads and stuff, that wasn't necessarily the best idea. But Dropships, I thought you played fairly good, you know? I got no complaints, really. So, great match in general. And Mr. Not So Cool, you could say that he was playing it very cool. Very cautious. You know, pulling back at the right moments and pushing forward at the right moments, too. And I think definitely holding your super co-power at the beginning there definitely gave you a huge edge. Now, most people would just pop their co-power right away and be like, well, if you're going to pop your co-power, I'm going to pop my co-power, and we're just going to go head-to-head. But, no, he didn't. He played it cool, pulled back, held the co-power, pushed up when he knew he was going to get the most value out of it. So, fantastic match. So, thank you very much for submitting that, Mr. Not So Cool. And congratulations to both of you. Thought it was a fantastic game. If anybody else has replays that they would like me to take a look at and possibly make into a video, send me the link on Advanced Wars by Web. My name is Mr. Cannon. That's Mr. Cannon. Send me there and I'll take a look. And, you know, it'll be fantastic. So, until next time, this has been Semi-Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web. I will leave a description in the So, until next time, this has been Semi-Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web. I will leave a link in the description below to the Discord and Advanced Wars by Web if you want to join and play or chat with people around the world. And until next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.